horses. They shiny. I'm guessing we're starting from here somewhere, but I'm not sure. Let's ask somebody. So owners probably never come. It's a wedding venues and tourist attraction. Not really, because it's supposedly times in Brooklyn. Nowadays,
1880. Couldn't make money at it anymore. Shut the building down. Building got condemned 15 years ago. We just got done rehabilitating the building. It opened up about 3.5 weeks ago. Make sure you spend a few minutes in there looking at the Cotton Gin Museum that's in there. So you came out of the house tour looking at these live oak trees here. That guy with a long, low branch is called the wedding tree. We get a proposal out there pretty much every weekend. This guy's been identified as the oldest tree in the property. I believe that tree is about 650 years old. Boone Creek, junction between the Atlantic Ocean, which is saltwater, and the Wando River, which is freshwater. That's a tidal Atlantic Creek. We're coming down with the tide, and we're approaching high tide right now. Briny means it's salty. It's too salty to drink, too salty to irrigate with, too salty to support a rice crop. That's why this is a cotton plantation instead of a rice plantation. Well, never mind that. The groundwater here is too salty to support a rice crop, which is a shame because rice is where all the money was. The richest people in North America in the 1830s got in Charleston Harbor. That's how they got the crops to market. Now, who saw the movie The Notebook? Did you see the movie The Notebook? You should. They filmed the exteriors here. Remember the scene in the end where Ryan and the girl jump out of the rowboat to the tree? Right out there in front of the old dock on a cold October morning. We did that in one take. Got a party field here. Food Fest, Wine Fest. Biggest party they have all year is always the Oyster Festival. It's always the last Sunday in January. Think about 9,000 guests. Think about 80. Causeway separating saltwater at high tide from freshwater. At low tide, that's a mud flat. There's no water in there at all. This water here is our only source of fresh water, responsible for irrigating the entire plantation, home to alligators, turtles, and birds. If we're going to see a gator, we're going to see it out here now. And we saw one all day long. Mom was out here all day, but she brought some of that. Come on. You see how low the water is? It's been rainless for about 3 weeks. That's 100% rainfall dependent. There's a family of 5 gators that lives in there. There's 3 kids and 2 grown-ups. And a lot of times, one or the other of the 2 grown-ups will hang out by the side of the road here on the off chance that the kid here is all that's left of the cotton. We went from 700 acres down to just under 2 acres as a demonstration crop for the 15,000 school kids that come out here during the course of the year. They need to know what cotton looks like. They need to go in there and try to fix it. They get a rotten job at it. Now your timing is great, folks. See those white flowers? Those all bloomed this morning. Tonight at sundown or so, they will turn pink. They will fall off the plant, and what'll be left will be the formation of the cotton balls. It's about a 3-week process that happens every day. We're almost at the end of the process. If you were to walk up here after the ride, look at those plants. Bee boxes over there. Bee colony collapsed 9.5 years ago. Bees are in trouble all over North America, not just here. 4 years ago, they did an experiment importing half a dozen hot weather hives from Italy. Those hives came with 95,000 bees. They put them all over the farm and let them go. Went back and worked at the end of the summer. They're doing pretty well. They're making honey. They're making baby bees. They're not dying at nearly the same rate as the domestic bees. They talk funny, but they're doing really well. We're back up to 51 active hives and just about done with 1 million trees. So we kind of recovered from the bee thing. Palm trees over there. A particular species is called the palmetto tree. That's our state tree that's on the state flag and the state license plate. And just so you guys know, that tree is a natural home to a wonderful little critter we call the flying palmetto bug. It's a South Carolina tree frog, the big old ugly flying cockroach. There's the indigo plant. That's a demo plant for the school kids. Doesn't look like much, but it's an important historical plant. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Other wildlife is primarily white-tailed deer. White-tailed deer living on a farm. What a pretty good deal. Free food. Get into the crops. We got over one-bite deer to the point that we had a deer problem. Coyote migration about 12 years ago resolved the deer problem. Now we got a coyote problem. We got fox, we got possum, we got the occasional skunk. We got lots of wild geese and wild turkeys, we got red-tailed hawk. We got a pair of bald eagles on the property. I'll show you their nest in a little while. Lots of geese here. Now those are Canadian geese, but they're not migratory. They live here all year long. I think the free food does them in. We got 35 different kinds of snakes that live here with us. Only 6 of which are venomous. Just 6. So the kids are here the whole month of October. We run about 2,000 kids a day through here on the days that they're open. They're here the whole month of October. They love it. They go home at the end of the month of October. I love it. There's also a big kid hayride, which is, as you can expect, a whole different kind of hayride, different level of intensity. This is the little kid hayride. This is the last half of the little kid hayride. It's King Tut's tomb here on the left. So this is collectively the little kid hayride. The big kid hayride starts up here on the right. It's that thing coming out of the woods there. It's a whole different kind of hayride. That comes with a cast of 135 people whose job it is to try and scare the bejesus out of you. They do a pretty good job of that. So here's the beginning of that little kid hayride. At Henderson's store, Henderson's is a movie set. Y'all remember the Roots movies. The sequel was a movie called Queen. Holly Berry's breakthrough movie was filmed on the steps of Henderson's store. And here's the corn maze. Folks that run the place figured out parents would pay good money to lose their children. Plant the maize first week in July, cut the maize in third week in September, with GPS-directed tractors, and that's really neat to watch that happen. The maze last year was the Boone Hall logo surrounded by a bunch of maize stuff. It was a great maze. You know how good your maze is by how many kids you lose. It was a great maze. This 8.5 acres. It's a giant Chevy ad only visible from outer space. Petting zoo and playground for the kids. There's camel over there, and goats, and horses and stuff. We keep that open during Strawberry Festival in March as well. 22 acres of U-pick. All kinds of stuff grows in there. Up until about a month ago, all along the road up there was an 8.5 acre St. Clair field. It was a U-pick field. That's closed down. Now, that steel roof building is a store. Next to it, there's a 2-acre pumpkin patch we keep open every year, all during Oktoberfest. Dirty little secret about pumpkin patches: you can't grow enough pumpkins for 110,000 kids. It gets dark at night, the kids go home. We got 4 trailer loads of pumpkins from New Mexico. Every night after dark, they pull the trucks out. The farm crew runs around and reseeds the field, so the kids got something to pick the next day. Little ditch here on the left. All the fields are connected by these ditches back to that main freshwater pond. The ditches were all dug by slaves pre-Civil War, all dug by hand. That's how they moved the water all around the farm. We still use that ditch for irrigation purposes. And there's another family of gators in there. That's the waiting line for the big kid hayride. 7,000 kids a night that run through. This, up until about 2 weeks ago, was 6,500 tomato plants. Went home with bushel baskets full of muscadine grapes. They made their annual supply of jam and jelly from those grapes. Muscadine's a real thick skin, real sweet fruit, real good for jam and jelly, really mediocre wine. If you're given the choice between muscadine wine and almost anything else in the world, you want to go for the anything else. She sells wine back at the gift store where you got on the cart. It's California wine. Here's the new peach grove. Let me tell you about peaches. It takes 4 years to get a peach out of a peach tree. That tree will give you peaches for the next 8 or 9 years. That is pretty well done. So what you do is every year for the first 12 years, you plant up layered peach trees. The 13th year, you go find the oldest trees and pull them out and place them in new trees. You do that every year. You keep your peach grove young and productive. Everybody's happy. There's some turkeys in the grapevine there, Sam. If they would have been doing that over there, we wouldn't have lost the peach grove. They skipped 4 years in a row, and they caught up with them. Nice little solar-powered electric fence there. This field was the bulk of this last year's strawberry patch. Planted a year ago, right at the end of October, grew over the winter. We started picking down here second week in January this year. Picked up until the middle of May when it was too hot to grow strawberries. 13 and a half acres, 125,000 strawberry plants. I was in there picking 3 times. Great crop. The whole month of March, the Strawberry Festival. We do a farming technique developed in Israel in the 60s called plasticulture. Under the plastic is a drip tube fed from either end of the center. The plastic keeps the ground warm, so we can grow stuff all year long. Plastic keeps the weeds down, and the plastic saves water. We run on about 45% of the water in a standard farm. You get 2 or 3 sets of crops out of a set of plastic before you got to pull it up and junk it. It looks like this stuff is about ready to go to me. This was heirloom tomatoes, grape tomatoes. These trees stay green all year long. Real solid iron-like wood, big root balls. Now when they're planted this close together, the roots intermingle. They're mutually supportive, structurally as well as nutritionally. They say the root ball reflects the tree canopies. If you look up, that's what's happening under the road here. These guys will live to be 500 to 750 years old. These guys here are just 260, 270. They're kids. Hey, look at the horses. Don't look at the white ones, but look at the brown ones. What's wrong with those horses? They got no mane. You see the horse with no mane? That'd make a great song. They're polo ponies. Mane gets in the way when you're playing polo, so they give them all a buzz cut. All those brown horses are professional polo ponies. They play every Sunday morning. The white horse played for 4 years. They retired her about 8 months ago. She's living here, eating for free, growing her hair back, living large, having a good life. The gray stuff hanging down is the commissary. Coming out of the ladies' room in there, you'll see 2 photographs on the wall of the farmhouse they tore down to build that thing in the 1930s. So if you want to see what the farmhouse really looked like, go take a peek on the wall there. Stables, that's where the horses live. Butterfly Cafe, that's still open for another 45 minutes or so. Great beer, good sandwiches, wonderful ice cream. Right behind that is the screen house. It's the Butterfly Pavilion. That's still open, but there's probably no butterflies in there. We lost a whole bunch of butterflies to the heat wave that came through in July. Butterfly Migration Day this year ended up being
Smells sweet almost. Smells sweet almost. Cedar. Oh wow. It's crazy. Dough on my way. Yeah. 1500. Yeah. Never gonna go back though. You build it once. You build it once. They said the notebook should jump from somewhere in these waters. You remember the jump in the water? Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, it was way in these waters.
Because lately, when they went on the
can turn TV around. You can literally turn TV. Kitchen in the house. We come check out the breakfast.